सुन तो सही जहां में है तेरा फसाना क्या। मुकम्मल गजा मौत की वादी बन चुका है। बच्चों के स्कूल भी महफूज नहीं हैं। कहाँ है यूनाइटेड नेशंस? अमन की आशा का नोबेल प्राइज किसको मिलने वाला है?
You do not do what Israel has done in Gaza. It is ethically abhorrent. It has involved destroying every hospital in the place, killing enormous numbers of doctors, and healthcare workers and doctors are protected in international law. And it has not achieved anything sensible. It hasn't got the hostages home. It hasn't eliminated the Hamas leadership. So it's a military catastrophe as well as a moral catastrophe. And what would you do differently? Well, you would act with much more restraint, much more proportionality. You would target much more carefully. You cannot possibly consider killing what it is, 58,000 people as being a reasonable response to this horrible terrorist attack which was experienced on October 7th. It isn't. It is not proportional. It's not reasonable. And this question of what would you have done differently? Not that.
दो सगे भाइयों को अचानक कत्ल कर दिया गया। और इस मासूम बच्ची की फरियाद आहुजारी कौन सुनेगा? मासूम बच्चों को बेदर्दी से कत्ल किया जा रहा है।
Catastrophic. The degree of human suffering is beyond anything I've ever witnessed. I've never seen anything like this. There's a kind of global sadism going on, that people are watching this bombardment, the fires, the burning, the bombs, the starvation, the disease, the bombing of hospitals and the entire infrastructure, the withholding of aid. And the world, by and large, with some very, very honourable exceptions in countries who are not, but our country, America, much of Europe is just standing, watching this and turning away. And we are in this country still selling parts of F-35 jets, which are the planes that are used to bomb Gaza, and nothing seems to be able to persuade our Prime Minister to stop doing that. Like a lot of people, I feel desperate about it. Desperate about it.
इंसानों की लाशें हवा में लहरा रही हैं।
I remember we had this kid who was shot in the neck, and the bullet had exited through the child's chin. This child was only 2 years old, and the father had carried this child in a blanket from his home. And remember, there's no fuel in Gaza, and father couldn't afford to pay someone for a donkey cart to get it to the hospital, so he ran with the child in a blanket with a gunshot wound through the neck that had gone out through his chest. 2-year-old child. And I remember when that child arrived into the emergency department, he was still alive. And the father placed the child in my hands. And he says, "Yeah, doctor, he's still breathing." And, we don't even have a ventilator in the hospital, in the emergency department. We didn't even have a ventilator. And this child, you could see the fear in his eyes. The panic of his father was, but this child had lost so much blood that he was just in this kind of paralytic state. And because obviously the exit wound had been the chin, he was coughing up blood, and this child was choking on his own blood. And the child held onto my stethoscope as he was dying while he was choking on his own blood, and we didn't even have a suction device. And I didn't want to start putting my fingers down his throat to scoop up blood because I knew he was going to imminently die.
इन मासूम बच्चों का कोई फसाने हाल नहीं। गाजा शहर मुकम्मल तबाह किया जा चुका है। इमारतें रेत का ढेर बन चुकी हैं।
Today I want to compare what Israel says with what Israel does, seeing as the Commission is unable to make that distinction. Israel claims it facilitates humanitarian aid entering Gaza, yet all entry points into Gaza are closed for cargo since early March. At the border, food is rotting, medicine is expiring, and vital medical equipment is trapped. Israel originally denied bombing the Al Ali Arab hospital. It has now attacked all hospitals in Gaza. Israel denies targeting journalists, yet they've killed over 200 journalists in Gaza. Israel denies killing humanitarian workers, yet they murdered 15 paramedics and aid workers one by one and buried them in a shallow grave, some of them with their hands bound. Under the EU's watch, Israel has normalised genocide and contempt for international law. When will the EU find its humanity and stand up to this rogue state? Sanction Israel, free Palestine.
इमदादी थैलों में लाशें ही लाशें हैं।
خير الشباب لما تروح، خير الشباب لما تروح، ولادنا بروحوا، ولادنا بروحوا، ولادنا بروحوا. أي مساعدات اللي بتحكوا لنا عنها هذه؟ أي مساعدات اللي بتتكلمون عنها هذه؟ هذه مساعدات الموت، هذه مساعدات الدم،
لا تحسبن الله غافلا عما يعمل الظالمون.
इस बच्चे की मुकम्मल फैमिली तबाह हो चुकी है।
Representative, you're the Minister of Foreign Affairs a little bit of the European Union. You know that the International Criminal Court asked for the arrest of Israeli leaders, yet you go to Israel and your first words are...
We are very good partners.
What very good partners? In crime? In genocide? In ethnic cleansing?
يا خان! يا خان!
इसराइल हर जगह बम शेलिंग कर रहा है।
I want to ask Israel's defenders how they can sleep at night. I want to ask that question of those who 2 years ago condemned those of us who pointed out that Israel had bombed a hospital in Gaza. Where are those voices now? That every single hospital in Gaza has been almost completely destroyed. That hundreds, if not thousands, of doctors, nurses and other hospital staff have been murdered by Israeli forces. Where are those who denied that Israel would ever possibly target Palestinian children? Now that we have the testimonials of surgeon after surgeon who say that all they do all day is operate on children 5, 6, 7 years old with single gunshot wounds to the head, execution shots by Israeli soldiers.
हर जगह बम शेलिंग से धुएं के बादल छाए हुए हैं।
إحدى العلاقات تحت الأنقاض.
इस बच्चे का बाप रेत के ढेर में दबा हुआ है।
أمان طلعت ورجيني صورتهم. هذه غنى والله هي غنى يا ربي.
इस शख्स का पूरा खानदान तबाह हो चुका है।
حبيبتي يا غنى مسجد. الحمد لله يا ربي.
طيب انت ايش؟
एक मासूम बच्चा अपनी माँ को तलाश कर रहा है।
My name is Alan Shabaro. I was with 3rd Special Forces Group. I was a sniper, assaulter, and a breacher. I know war. What's going on in Palestine right now is not a war. It's the genocide, it's the ethnic cleansing of a specific people to take their land.
सुन तो सही जहां में है तेरा फसाना क्या।